Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and welcome to Primetime Local News. 3 more residents who tested positive for COVID-19 in Saskatchewan have died. There are 269 new cases, including 81 in the immediate Lloydminster area. 30 new cases were reported in the Northwest Zone. The Northwest remains third in Saskatchewan for the highest number of active cases in the province, behind only Saskatoon and Regina. 2,229 cases are considered active province-wide. 224 people are in hospital, with 26 in the Northwest, including 1 in intensive care. Close to 3,000 people in our zone have received the first dose of the vaccine, with almost 39,000 people vaccinated province-wide. And the temperature has taken a drop in Lloydminster, and it is expected to sink even further this weekend. As Eric Bay reports, shelters are doing their best to keep people warm.
Wind chills are expected to push temperatures into the -40s this weekend, increasing the risk of frostbite and hypothermia. Many shelters, including the Lloydminster Men's Shelter, are preparing for higher traffic through their doors this weekend.
Hunker down and hang out with us around the clock, basically. Those that are going out, we're making sure that they're dressed warm, that they've got gloves and toques and all that kind of stuff, and we're just doing our best to keep everyone warm and safe.
The men's shelter opened its doors around the clock at the beginning of winter this year and will continue to be open 24/7 as the temperature drops.
We went to 24/7 at our shelter and at our drop-in center. So we were lucky to be able to do that, and it just offers the opportunity for people to stay inside around the clock. We don't want anyone freezing to death this winter, so we were able to make that happen, and we're really happy that we were able to do that.
Cold weather clothing is needed by the men's shelter to help protect people from the elements outside.
We're having a hard time keeping mitts and gloves in stock for people. If people have old ski pants in their closet and they're not skiing anymore, they'd like to pass them on, we would be happy to give them to someone who needs them.
Donations can be made at the Lloydminster Men's Shelter. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
With Valentine's Day about a week away, some may be searching for ways to celebrate. Our Becca Day looks at how one local company is bringing local businesses together to create a Valentine's experience.
I'm here with Jill Kelly with Discover Lloydminster to learn more about their Valentine's Day initiative. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So to start, do you mind telling us about the Small Escapes, Big Moments Valentine's Day packages?
Yeah, so what we've done is we've reached out to our local members with the Discover Lloydminster project in hopes to support local a little bit more and to focus our efforts on people getting out and spending their money locally as well, while obviously, we have a lot of guidelines with COVID that our provincial and federal governments have put out that we need to respect and abide by. So instead of going away, which a lot of people used to do for just the season or for Valentine's Day specifically, we are doing a couple of smaller packages to say, stay local, stay in our region, and really get out and experience what it's like to be new here or to be a tourist here. And so we have 2 different packages available. We have a smaller package that's valued at over $200, and we've been able to discount it to $150. And it's so nice. It's a table for 2 at East Market Noodle House for Valentine's Day. Your table is reserved that Saturday night, so it's actually on February 13th. And there's a gift card to go shop at Brixton Shoes. I mean, who doesn't love some new shoes as well? A stunning floral arrangement will be on the table by Flowers on the Fly by Adina, and then some craft beer or a growler that you can fill up at your leisure with beer, cider, what have you, from Fourth Meridian. A bag of locally roasted coffee from Prairie Lily, and of course our Discover Lloydminster guide so that you can explore the whole region at your leisure. And then the package 2 is a little bit bigger. It also includes the stuff from before, except for it's at Spiro's Family Restaurant. And same thing with the evening booked on February 13th. Flowers are by Abbey Road. And you still get the Brixton Shoes gift card, Still get the 4th Meridian growler that you can fill up at your leisure, and bag of Prairie Lily coffee, except for this one also comes with a stay at the local Days Inn here, which I know some people are like, if you live here, why stay at a hotel? But honestly, it's such a nice escape to just be able to get out of the house, which we're not really doing as much these days. So it's nice to be in that safe, controlled environment, but you can really have a small escape.
You touched on it already. There's a clear emphasis on focusing on local businesses and helping them out. In general, why is it important to reach out and help local businesses?
I think they're just the backbone of our economy. Like 98% of businesses within Canada are small or small businesses. And if you can support local, those are the people who are donating to our hockey teams. They're the people who are helping to build the next big multiplex or venture of that nature. Online retailers that, I mean, it's so easy to shop online and I get it, but $0 from that purchase that you made online stays within our community, where buying from a local shop, that's what funds both obviously that business specifically, but also it goes back into our tax dollars. It brings jobs here, brings people here. It's just a cycle that keeps feeding itself.
You mentioned that the Small Scapes Big Moments packages, hopefully they'll continue on past this Valentine's Day one. What was the motivation behind creating them?
We want to make it easy for people to come to Lloyd, to experience our community and to discover new local gems. And so by building packages like this, it just makes it easy for people to know kind of where to go and how to get started in that nature. It's also just a great opportunity to highlight some of the amazing things that we have going on here that maybe you as a local kind of forget about, or it's just become more or less background to you. So this will help hopefully reinvigorate your curiosity and get you out a little bit more. And then for the people who are coming to Lloyd as well, we have a lot of people in our trade area who make Lloyd their stop. So maybe they don't want to go to the big city. Lloyd is more convenient. For a lot of people, Lloyd is the big city. And so we want to capture them as well and help them spend their disposable income here and in our shops and our region as well.
Thanks so much for speaking with us today, Jill. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
The first issue of an online local magazine has officially launched, featuring articles on residents, businesses, and organizations in the border city. Our Shelby Clark chats with the creator for more details on what people can expect.
I'm speaking with Kimberly Steyer, creator of Locally YLL magazine. How are you today?
I am excellent. How about you?
I'm very good. So we've seen lots of online posts on your e-magazine. Can you tell me when this idea started?
I actually always wanted to create a magazine and have had opportunities to be involved in other magazines. But when COVID hit, I really found people weren't reading the paper anymore. The online Facebook posts, people were getting upset. There was not enough positive news in it. And so I felt like I had the skills and the technology that I could create something that would be innovative, informative, and affordable for business owners so that they could get their message across and really focus on positive things in the community. So I'd say probably around as long as COVID's been around.
So COVID was the inspiration, I guess, in a way to get the idea to start this in the border city?
Yes, so it was a solution to a problem I definitely noticed that was happening in the city as far as communications.
And how has the reception and support been with this e-magazine from residents?
I have been overwhelmed with the amount of positive comments, inboxes, direct messages from not just citizens, but other business owners. Of course, your station as well, that really meant the world to me to have you guys reach out. And a lot of people excited to be able to have their businesses message across in the future and people inquiring to be a part of it. So we have been really overwhelmed by such a positive reaction. It actually means the world to us.
And you've just released volume 1, issue 1 on February 1st, correct?
Yes, so it has only actually been out. Today will be the second day. And we did do, in December, we did kind of a beta launch. We did Christmas catalog, wish book of local businesses, different products that were available. And so we used that to try and figure out any of the bugs that we would have before we launched our first issue. And I have to say, I was so pleased by the businesses that decided that they were going to be on board. 99% of them have committed to being involved for a minimum of a year. So I am really pleased and excited to see what all of them come up with and bring forth with material for the next year.
And what can people expect to see and read about in your first issue?
So in our first issue, we were very lucky. We featured quite a few amazing local citizens. One of the first that I'll mention is Jordan Pollard. She's a phenomenal young lady. She's only 19. She's accomplished so much already in her years. She was nominated for Canadian Country Musician of the Year. She's also been a recipient of a Stingray trending track, as well as other numerous awards. She's really just blowing up. Like right now, I believe she's top 20 in the entire country. And hopefully I don't get this wrong, I think she's number 4 right now in Saskatchewan. So she is just incredible. So we had her in, we did a photo shoot, and we sat down with her, and there's a 6-page feature on her. We also had this really innovative platform for sharing about different countries in the world called Country of the World. It is created by a Saskatchewan man that was looking at ways of sharing good information about different countries in the world and getting his children not only excited about learning about different cultures and communities, but really learning the heart and soul of what goes into those countries. It's an incredible platform that actually, not mentioned in the magazine, but the government of Manitoba just purchased access for their entire province for the next little bit of this program. So it's actually so well received. It's a great program. I hope people read about that. And also, we had local experts. So Eleni Young, who is a professional songwriter. Most people from the city here know her as a singer, and also the granddaughter of Spiros. And so she wrote an incredible article about the importance of family-run businesses and the lessons that people can learn to have a business with the longevity like Spiros. We also had Kilted Customs wrote an interesting piece on how to get salt off of the exterior and interior of your vehicle. And then Vanessa Irrigata from Nouveau Laser and Aesthetics wrote a fascinating piece about sculpture, which actually is a brand new innovative technology that helps with fat reduction and was the 2020 winner of Harper's Bazaar's awards. So it's actually, there's some really informative things that are positive in our community. The magazine is definitely not COVID based as far as material. It's more feel-good things that are happening in our community and bringing people who are making positive changes and focusing on the good things that are happening in our community.
And is there anything else you want to add for residents to know about?
I think if there's anything that's happening in the community, if you know somebody that is maybe not acknowledged for the amazing work they're doing, or how somebody is quietly making change, that is somebody I want to know about. I love seeing stories like that. That's what I want to fill my life and my platform with. I want our platform to be the community forefront, like for cheerleading for the people in our community. We've got a great community with great people in it, and I think it's time to focus on that. And also, if you're a business that doesn't have large marketing dollars, this is a great platform. It's only $150 a page. That is a lot of bang for your buck. It's out for an entire month. The whole point was not to make money on it. It was to get the message across to our community so that we could feel like one.
Well, congratulations again on releasing your first issue, and thank you for joining me today, Kimberly.
Thank you so much. It means the world to us.
Now our Connor Chan will take a look at your weather forecast.
All right, thanks a lot, Jasmine. Looking right now, minus 25. We did see some sun today, and we are going to see clear skies throughout the next couple of days. It's just going to be very, very cold, as we see with the wind chill. Minus 36 outside. It was, of course, much colder this morning with that added wind chill, and that's going to be the storyline heading into the weekend. And, of course, the next couple of days, we are seeing some polar vortex system coming down into Alberta and parts of Saskatchewan. Minus 24s as we take a look here in some other temperatures. Minus 24 in Vermilion, Wainwright, as well as minus 25s also up in Bonnyville, Cold Lake, Pierceland, and as well as in Marwayne, also in North Battleford. We see that as well. Minus 27 also out in Meadow Lake and Isla Cross sitting at minus 27. So here's a look at the extreme cold warnings right now. There are lots of them in effect throughout not only the parts here in northern Alberta, but also in most of Saskatchewan, as well as across the rest of the country. There are some special weather statements in the Maritimes, but this is kind of the focus here. We are going to see temperatures getting to around that minus 40, minus 50 range throughout most of Saskatchewan and northern Alberta for the weekend here. The wind chill is going to play a major factor. So if you do go outside, make sure you dress warm to prevent the risk of frostbite. If you don't have to leave the house, do not leave the house if you don't have to suffer the cold there. But looking overnight tonight, North Battleford minus 38, going into minus 30 tomorrow with those temperatures continuing on. Minus 38 overnight as well in Cold Lake into minus 28 tomorrow. And then for us here in Lloydminster, we could see a little bit of flurries continuing later in the evening, but mostly it's going to be clear skies throughout the day tomorrow. Minus 36 overnight and minus 28 as our high tomorrow. With that wind chill, it'll feel more like minus 46 around that range there. Minus 32 heading into Sunday with a low there of minus 42 to start the day off. And if that wind chill could be possibly minus 53 there. Minus 30 on Monday, though. We are going to continue that off for continuing those temperatures from the weekend. So low of minus 40 on Monday and a high of minus 30 for Monday. That is the first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Welcome back. Synergy Credit Union has been named as one of Saskatchewan's top employers for fourth consecutive year. Jace Mackey has more on some of the reasons why they've been recognized.
I'm joined today with Glenn Stagg, the CEO of Synergy Credit Union. Glenn, thanks for taking some time to talk with me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So Synergy Credit Union was named top employer in Saskatchewan for the fourth consecutive year. First of all, can you just tell me how proud you are of that recognition?
Super proud, especially, given all the events that happened in 2020, right? The pandemic kind of set everybody back. And so normally when you go through the amount of change we did and everybody has to pivot doing different things, it can actually have a negative effect on culture and different things like that, which are measured through the top employer piece. So getting this recognition this year is actually just even that much more special just because of the pandemic.
Now, when I was going through some of the reasons why Synergy was recognized for this way, some of them were including paid days off during the pandemic, the Synergy Shares program, retirement planning assistance. So can you just talk about some of those reasons that you feel you guys were able to take away this prize as one of the top employers?
Well, I mean, we always say people come first in our organization, right? And it actually starts with our team. So just using the example of the pandemic, when it first hit us in April, the government officials, health officials were really struggling to give clear direction to businesses on what they can do to protect themselves and serve their members, their clients better. So we did close our doors temporarily just so we could organize ourselves and do things differently. And during that time, there's a lot of demand on people to do something different. So we gave them a day off, paid day off, one every 2 weeks, just so that they can recover. Spend a little bit more time with family, recover, stay healthy so that they can be their best when they come back to work. So that was one little initiative that we did. In addition, we shifted people's roles and responsibilities during that time our doors were closed. So at the end of the day, our members were actually served better as a result of that than maybe they would have been if we would have just tried to work our way through all the rule changes with their doors open. And again, our team gave us a lot of positive feedback on that, right? And just re-emphasized the fact that they recognize that people are first within our organization as a result of those activities that we did.
So why do you think it's so important to be able to provide a good environment for your employees?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. If our people like coming to work, they're going to serve you as a customer better, right? So that's the first part. The second part is it helps us attract better talent, right? So as a result of not just the pandemic, but just our focus on trying to do more with technology, over 50% of our employees today work outside of the office and continue to support those that are working in the office, no different than what they were doing when they were in the office, right? But just being able to have that flexible workforce, we actually now have employees that work out of Toronto, out of Melville, out of Shaunavon, just to name a few examples. And these are great, talented people that just are able to help our teams be better. So that's a little bit of what the technology allows us to do.
And is there anything else you'd like to add today?
Well, the other part that I would share, which you touched on earlier, is that again, during the pandemic, we actually were able to see the needs of our community differently. And again, making people first and engaging our team members, they came forward with a lot of great ideas that we acted on. So early in April, we gave our health foundation some money to buy PPE for their staff. We then moved into the food banks and helped them stock their shelves. We then moved into the schools and we gave the schools $10 per student, to spend on things that were needed to them that aren't funded by government programming today. So anything from adding an outdoor activity to keep, students active through the year, spending on breakfast programs, PPE for when kids forget them at home, those type of activities. And then last, again, was really focusing again on the Shop Local, Spend Local campaign. So we gave everybody $20.21 to spend locally or donate. And a lot of people thought that was nothing, right? What's $20? But when you think about it, when we have over 26,000 members, that's $500,000 spent in our community in a very short period of time. So it added up to be something significant. And again, those are all attributes and successes because we have such a great team who are just in tune with the needs of our community.
Well, Glenn, thank you for taking some time to talk with me today, and congratulations on this recognition.
Well, thank you. We're pretty proud of it. Thanks, Chase.
Now here are your stock market prices for today.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
The 55th Super Bowl will get underway this Sunday in Tampa, Florida, between the defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, and Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Evan Kenny and Eric Bay have more.
Well, this Sunday is when it is happening, the Super Bowl, the biggest event in pro football, taking part this Sunday. It's an exciting time. Joining me today to break this all down is Eric Bay. Eric, thanks for taking this time.
Yeah, like you say, biggest sporting event in football, maybe the entire sports calendar.
And, even if we think about it in entertainment, obviously the Super Bowl halftime show is always a big deal for a lot of people there too. But let's talk about the teams who are going to be playing on the field. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are hosting the Super Bowl, but also playing in it for the first time ever. And they're taking on defending champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Eric, let's just start talking about some keys to victory for each team. Kicking things off with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do they need to do in order to win the Super Bowl this year, Eric?
Yeah, I think obviously when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to have a very good offense. So for me, for the Bucs, their offense has to be able to match this team because the Chiefs are obviously still going to score points no matter how well you do. And for me, the Buccaneers really haven't put together a full four quarters on offense here throughout an entire game. They had one great half against the Green Bay Packers. They didn't play overly well, I thought, against the Saints. Their defense really put them in a position to succeed. And it was a very tight game against the Washington football team, which really, when it's Washington, shouldn't have happened. So for me, this offense needs to be going from the get-go and give them full four quarters to be successful.
Now, for me, Eric, when looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think it's a must that they must limit their turnovers. Last week against Green Bay, they gave up 3 picks, which, they almost worked like punts, so it didn't turn out too bad. But when you're playing against an explosive team like the Kansas City Chiefs, those could come back to bite you. Obviously, Tom Brady's not trying to throw picks, but he's got to try just that much harder, I think, coming into the Super Bowl. And then another key for them is their pass rush needs to be on point. We've talked about their defense a lot, especially throughout these playoffs, and they've really played pretty lights out for this team, but they're going to even need to step it up one more gear, especially mobile quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. They want to get on him quick and limit his time, limit the time that receivers have to get downfield and try and get on that ball. Now, Eric, let's go to Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, in their AFC Championship game against the Buffalo Bills, they were pretty perfect. Do you think they just need a performance like that again this week?
Yeah, more or less limit those turnovers like you just talked about. I mean, that's really how they shot themselves in the foot early. But for me, it'll be red zone defense is the key. Of all the faults the Chiefs have, and there's not many, that is probably one of them. They were ranked 32nd in the league in the regular season in red zone defense, and they did a very good job against the Buffalo Bills, limiting the team to field goals early, which let them pull away early on, and then obviously made it hard for the Bills to come back. So if they can limit Tom Brady and the Bucs to field goals, or at least put them in tough fourth down situations where they're forced to go for it and maybe make a few stops, this will allow them to kind of pull away and secure a victory in my mind.
Now, Eric, quickly here, who do you think is going to win Super Bowl 55 here?
Tough to pick against the Chiefs. I mean, top to bottom, like we said, this roster is experienced, amazing. So I think it'll be the Chiefs. I still think it'll be close, though, maybe a 7-point or maybe 10-point game at the most.
I also have the Chiefs winning by about a 10-point spread there. But, I mean, what do we know, Eric? We talked to some people who do know the X's and O's of football a little better than we do. So let's throw it over to see what they think of the Super Bowl this year.
I mean, it's a tough one. You got youth versus experience at the quarterback position. It's really hard to bet against Tom Brady, but you got to like what Mahomes has done this year. They've won some close games, but they won a lot of games. And in the AFC Championship game against a tough Buffalo team, they really showed that they're a power. So I think I'm going to go with Kansas City this weekend.
Going with the heart, I have to go with Kansas City. These two teams are just so equally matched. It's very hard from a football on-field perspective to just say this team is going to win, or barring something catastrophic from either side. I think it's going to be a down-to-the-wire Super Bowl, but I think Kansas City, riding the momentum that they've haven't had one last year, I think will repeat.
Patrick Mahomes, I think, and their offense. Andy Reid he's dialed in. They can do anything. Like Travis Kelce is so dynamic. Tyreek Hill's got all the speed in the world. Then they got that defense. They got really nice pass rush, and ultimately, like, that's probably what's going to come down to. If Frank Clark and Chris Jones can disrupt Tom Brady a bit, they don't have a chance.
Now our Connor Chan will take another look at your weather forecast.
Well, it's definitely going to be a great Super Bowl weekend, especially with the cold temperatures that we're having. It'll be great to just stay inside and enjoy it from the comforts of your own home. And we are going to see that polar vortex making its way throughout Alberta and Saskatchewan, with those temperatures dropping down to possibly minus 50 degrees. But looking right now, still sitting at minus 25 for us here in Lloydminster, as well as in Cold Lake. Minus 21 also out in Edmonton, minus 24 for Athabasca, minus 18 in Rocky Mountain House, minus 11 degrees in Jasper. Looking ahead into Saskatchewan, temperatures right now, minus 24 for Saskatoon, Prince Albert, minus 26 in Meadow Lake, Melfort, and we also see minus 25 in North Battleford. We see these everywhere in here on this map that you do see, are under that extreme cold warning as well. Minus 28 degrees in La Loche, Buffalo Narrows, and in La Ronge, and as well as in Walston Lake at South End. Minus 32 all the way up there in Uranium City, minus 31 in Stony Rapids, and then minus 27 on the border of Manitoba and Saskatchewan and Flin Flon. Looking ahead into northern Alberta right now, minus 27 27 degrees we see in Fort Chipewyan and in Fort McMurray, minus 25 for High Level and minus 24 in Peace River, with minus 23 for Slave Lake and minus 20 in Grand Prairie. Now looking ahead into southern Alberta, not a whole lot of extreme colds there. It's mostly just those northern areas in southern areas in Saskatchewan, excuse me, that are the most cold, but minus 18 for both Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, minus 20 degrees in Calgary right now with minus 15 in Banff. As we take a look to southern Saskatchewan, we are going to see some cold temperatures there as well at minus 24 for Moose Jaw and Kindersley, minus 25 in Regina and in Yorkton for right now, and minus 22 for Swift Current and minus 20 degrees in Estevan. Most of Manitoba is in the mix with that extreme cold warning, sitting at minus 19 in Winnipeg, minus 8 in Toronto right now, minus 3 in Quebec City. The Maritimes have some special weather statements right now. Lots of snow on the way for those maritime provinces with heavy winds coming along that way. Wind gusts could be up to 80 kilometers an hour right there. 8 degrees in Vancouver right now with some cloud coverage, going into minus 35. Looking up north here in the Northwest Territories, minus 35 in Yellowknife and minus 20 in Whitehorse. That's where a lot of that polar vortex is coming from. It's coming from areas like the Yukon as well as areas in Siberia as well. Now take a look here into temperatures for tomorrow. Minus 28 is the expected daytime high, with the wind chill could be around that minus 35 or up, around maybe close to minus 40 there. Minus 28 though we'll see throughout most of the area, as well as in Vermilion, Marwayne, Bonnyville, Cold Lake as well. Minus 26 for St. Paul and Vegreville tomorrow. Minus 23 in Wainwright and Provost. Looking at North Battleford, minus 30 degrees tomorrow with minus 27 degrees in St. Walburg. We'll see minus 30 also up in Isle La Crosse and minus 24 there for Macklin as well. Now looking ahead to the next couple of days, we are going to have clear skies throughout most of the day, but it's going to be the cold temperatures lingering around for the next little bit here. Minus 32 on Sunday, going to minus 42 as the low there on Sunday. Minus 40 the low on Monday, going into minus 30 on Monday, with possibility of Sunday overnight possibly being at minus 50 degrees for us here in Lloydminster overnight. Minus 28 on Tuesday, minus 27 there Wednesday, and then we start to kind of tailor off a little bit there at Thursday at minus 22 and minus 20 degrees on Friday. It is going to be very cold, so if you do have to go outside, make sure you do dress warm to prevent frostbite there. But that is a look at your 7-day forecast. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
I'm joined today on Primetime Local News all the way from Houston, Texas, with Meredith Jurica. And Meredith, thank you so much for joining us today. You have much better weather than we have, guaranteed. We're sitting in about minus 18 with cold temperatures. So we're going to talk about a little happier things today, and a project that you started and has just grown amazingly, and it's the Makeup Junkie bags. Tell me a little bit about the invention of these, Meredith, how they got started from yourself in your home.
Okay, so I love makeup, and a couple years ago I was frustrated because there were no makeup bags on the market that would hold modern day cosmetics like palettes and brushes and things like that. So I created this lay flat rectangular bag that lays flat on a surface and has a medial zipper and holds a ton of product, and it's completely leak proof. So I just made one for a personal need, and everybody locally was like, "Where'd you get that bag? I want one of those." And it just kind of turned into a thing locally. And then I thought, maybe I could really do something with this. So I filed for a design patent, and I started making them and hiring people to help me make them. And I made it onto the show Shark Tank, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now we're a large manufacturing company in Houston, and we distribute them nationwide.
Now, tell me about the bags themselves. What are some of the things that make them different from a regular makeup bag? I know that when I have issues, mine tips over and I always have to clean it because stuff spills inside. So how is yours different from the traditional makeup bags?
Okay, so a normal makeup bag sits up tall and dumps over on the counter. You have to dig down to get your stuff, and it can't hold full-size professional products, right? So this, as you can see, lays completely flat on a surface, and it takes up no space in a travel item, and the zipper's down the middle, so whenever it's sitting on the table or the counter like that, you can just have it gape open and see all of your products. And then we double tuck the liner inside so that it becomes leak proof. So like the large size for shampoo, conditioner, things like that, it's going to protect your suitcase from any spills that would happen in your toiletry bag. So that's kind of what sets it apart. It's flat packing capabilities and completely leak proof.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about your time on Shark Tank, Meredith. I know that looks like it's really nerve-wracking for people who actually have to go in front of these people, because they're harsh in some cases. You know, they really just get to the heart of things, and sometimes not in a friendly way. So how was your experience, and how did it change your life after appearing on Shark Tank?
It was definitely nerve-wracking, and I had a great experience, though. I know some people everyone has different testimonies from that show, but they were very kind to me, and it definitely elevated my business far beyond what I could have ever done by myself. So I'm very grateful to the show. They truly want to help entrepreneurs, and I had a lovely experience, and everything after, from the expansion of our customer base to you know, some of the publicity that you receive that puts attention on your brand. Everything just came like blessings after that. So I have nothing but good things to say.
So let's talk about where you're at now, Meredith. I know initially you had a team of people who were manufacturing and making them yourselves. Now do you have a whole big setup, commercial setup to get these because of the popularity?
Yes, so I still run the whole thing. I still manufacture everything, distribute it. I've moved into about 18,000 square foot of commercial space. I have dozens of sewing machines, and I just hire seamstresses and shipping people, and we make the bags, ship the bags, make the bags, ship the bags. So from a one-woman show to, you know, over 100 people who work for my company now, it's been a really wild couple of short years.
Well, when it comes to the designs, Meredith, are you always looking at improving and changing and offering different things? Because some of these you could even, I think, you know, use when you're going out for a fancy evening, on, you know, to an event. It looks like it could be a purse and, you know, handy to carry a lot of different things in. So are you continually changing and upping the designs?
I am, and we manufacture other things now too. And there's different, like this is a green velvet, and then there's that snake print I showed you earlier. A lot of women do take them as clutches for a night out just because they're so attractive. All of the fabrics are cleanable, washable. So if you get something spilled on it, it's very easy to maintain, and they're all lifetime guaranteed. So it's a great product to use versatile for going out at night, storing your toiletries. It's a great little bag.
Well, Meredith, congratulations. This is an amazing success story and an inspiration for other people who are looking to maybe taking that next step and wondering, okay, well, I've got this good idea. What can possibly happen? I mean, you're obviously proof of how things can really explode, and in a good way. So if people are looking about more information on the bags, or they want to buy some and look at your story, what's the best way to do that?
So they can follow us on social media where we post all of our new products. It's Makeup Junkie Bags, or you can go to www.makeupjunkiebags.com to purchase direct.
All right, well, Meredith, it's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, and good luck with everything in the future. We look forward to seeing all the new designs and everything that you're involved in.
Awesome, thanks guys.
Coming up on Tuesday is National Pizza Day, so treat yourself to pizza for lunch or supper or both, and support Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Lloydminster. When you stop by one of these locations here in the city and enjoy a delicious pizza on Tuesday, $1 is going to go to Big Brothers Big Sisters here in Lloydminster, and they do a lot of great work with kids and families right here in the city. An opportunity to support Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lloydminster on Tuesday with National Pizza Day. Tomorrow night is Tell-A-Miracle Steak Night, and the Lloydminster Kinsmen and Kinettes have teamed up to put together a virtual party that you can enjoy. They're going to have a virtual live stream tomorrow night, some live music from Bud's Busted 9 Irons, and also online, they put together a silent auction, and it's going to close tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, and one of the items you can bid on is a signed, framed Bobby Orr jersey, and that was donated by Fountain Tire. And a number of local businesses have donated items to the online auction, including a men's watch thanks to Richardson's Jewelry, Willow Creek Clothing and Collectibles, some beautiful home decor. Agland has donated a collectible tractor. There's a fire pit, there's sunglasses, there's so much more. Check out the Connect Club of Lloydminster on Facebook for the link to the online auction and place those bids, because where are we going? Higher! You still have time to get registered for a conference coming up next Friday night featuring keynote speaker Leslie Kelly. She's part of the Do More Ag Foundation. You can get registered now online. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Well, joining us for the weekly entertainment panel is Abby St. John. Abby, it's award season now. We're going to start to see those award lists coming out. You know, it was an interesting year for film and TV, you know, despite the COVID pandemic. The Golden Globes is what our focus is on today. The nominees were out earlier this week, so we thought we'd chat a little bit about some of the surprises and some of the snubs in these different categories. So I'll kind of let you kind of take the floor here. What was something that stood out to you when you saw the list here, and also what's something that shocked you on who or what wasn't on that list?
There was a few things that shocked me a little bit. One being the prom that was put on Netflix not too long ago. Lots of people were a little confused by it being nominated just because there was a lot of mixed reviews. The same goes for Ratchet, which is nominated for Best Drama Series. Also received very mixed reviews, so people are up in the air why it was nominated. But stuff that I've noticed personally, I'm excited for The Trial of Chicago 7 was nominated for Best Picture, and Sacha Baron Cohen was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for that film. It was just an incredible movie that I think deserved the nomination. However, what I think got snubbed a little bit was Regina King's One Night in Miami, which got her a nom for Best Director. And it would have been nice to see that in the Best Film. And also Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, directed by George C. Wolfe, which also got Best Actress for Viola Davis and Best Actor for Chadwick Boseman. So it's interesting to see why it wasn't nominated for Best Picture for that. And then Hamilton was nominated for Best Musical/Comedy. Fantastic production, just incredible. I've seen it multiple times now on Disney Plus, and it honestly never ceases to surprise me. Leslie Odom Jr., however, did not receive a nomination for Best Actor, which he won at the Tonys. So I want to know why he wasn't nominated. I think if he were nominated, he would win, just because he was incredible in Hamilton, and it was just an incredible show. But he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for One Night in Miami. But something that made me so super excited was the fact that Best Director has 3 women nominated for this category and 2 men. So women are really leading the way in this category, which is very exciting. We have Emerald Fennell, who directed Promising Young Women, Regina King, who directed One Night in Miami, and Chloe Chow, who directed Nomadland. So at least one of those women hopefully will win. My hope is that Regina King wins, but if one of the 3 women win this category, it will just be incredible, to say the least.
And that's been a bit of a topic over the last little bit of how no women directors were really nominated, you know, the previous years, but it's great to see them being nominated. Just also on that touch there, I was surprised, you know, with the prom. I kind of agree with you, mostly, and also with James Corden being the only one in that cast getting a nomination. Of course, Anna Taylor-Joy in The Queen's Gambit also getting a nomination, which is, you know, a very highly talked about show on Netflix. Now, one thing, it wouldn't be a fair talk about award shows about TV without talking about Schitt's Creek there, Abby. It's, you know, of course, we all know it's a very well-respected show, especially because it's made here in the great country here, Canada, and now it's being nominated for a lot of those major categories. And the question is, could we see another sweep of these categories at the Globes like we did see at the Emmys, or could someone possibly take a Golden Globe away from this show?
For right now, I can't see why they wouldn't sweep all the categories. They're up for Best Musical Comedy Series, Best TV Actress for Catherine O'Hara, Best TV Actor for Eugene Levy, Best Supporting Actress for Annie Murphy, and Best Supporting Actor for Dan Levy, which we saw at the Emmys. They swept it. But just looking at their final season, their finale had 1.3 million people watching, just the finale alone. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a critic rating of 100%, and it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. And it also had a 93% audience rating. So it's no question that this show is incredibly popular across Canada and even the US. So I will not be surprised if it sweeps all those categories. But if someone were to come out and win against them, I would be kind of shocked, but at the same time, I wouldn't be too upset. because they've proven that this show is incredible and willing or worth giving awards to. So we all know that Schitt's Creek has been amazing for the past 6 years. So I think I won't be surprised if it does sweep all those categories.
And also the Screen Actors Guild Award list came out as well, and they're definitely featured in that, and wouldn't be surprised also for them to take home a few SAG Awards as well. The Golden Globes is on February 28th. Abby St. John, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Primetime Local News. Have a great night.